Welcome back to 3R Ballistics and our all copper shootout in 7mm PRC. Now, this isn't necessarily a comparison between the cartridges, but it's more a comparison as to what suits your needs. Each one of these is a different grain weight. The Fiocchi is a 150 grain, Hornady is the 160 grain, and the Weatherby comes with a custom hammer, which is a 177 grain. They also all have different velocities because of those grain weights. 3100, we're seeing about a little over 3000. This claims 3000, we're seeing about 2950. And I believe this is saying 2900 and we're seeing about 2850 on this. And they all have different BCs as well. And I'll go ahead and put all those figures up here because what we're wanting to do is we're wanting to take these out to 500 yards and really show you the difference at distance between these bullets. The penetration, these are all copper, so penetration should be pretty good, and the weight retention for copper should be pretty good as well. We'll get each one of these at 100 yards, and I'll go ahead and show you what we're looking at as far as what's claimed for on the boxes of each of these, what that should give us at 100 and 500 yards. I'll go ahead and throw a little graph up here. That way you can kind of see what we're looking at and how it changes from 100 yards to 500 yards as far as velocity and energy. And then once we're done, at the end of this video, we're going to go ahead and show you the velocities that we actually received, what we captured as far as bullets at 500 yards and 100 yards. I'm doing all this in the garage early morning because it is frigid out there. I think the high is supposed to be probably in the mid 20s, maybe high 20s. And I'll also throw that in the calculations at the end. The velocities we received, the elevation that we're at, which is about 6,600 feet above sea level. The temperature, like I said, should be around the mid 20s. So let's bundle up and let's head out to the range. I'll see you there. So, like I said this morning, we're coming to you from a frosty day here at the range. We're starting with the 150 grain all copper Fiocchi. The bullet, the projectile is the Barnes tipped TSX. Start with a little 3-shot group, get some velocities. I'll try my best to get something decent on the paper, but okay, here we go. First shot, cold bore. Oh, the other thing I want to mention is when we got out, it was reading 18 degrees. I think 18 degrees. So that should have a little bit of effect on the velocity. But we're going to start with the left target. We'll go in the center. First shot out of the Fiocchi. Whoops. First shot, 3,070 feet per second. A little high right. Nothing out of the other chronograph. Okay. 3,002 feet per second. Those are really close. Last shot. I pulled that one, dang it. 3,011 feet per second. I'd still say those are about an inch. Okay, on to the CX. We're gonna start on the top left. We'll go over there. Good?
Yeah.
Okay, top left. 2894. 2871. Those are within an inch. Let's see what we can do on this last one. Little low left. 2873. All right, on to the Weatherby. Next up, we got the Weatherby 177 grain Hammer custom bullet. We're gonna try to do our best. I think we're gonna go bottom right on these ones on the same target. You good?
Yes, sir.
Okay, here we go. Okay, 28.35. $28.45. And $28.73. Those were close. My hands are getting a little cold though. Okay, so we're continuing with the Weatherby. We're gonna try to catch this into some polyethylene plates, some extruded plates just to the left of that. We also have a body armor panel if it goes through. It is 12 by 12 by 12 inches thick polyethylene. These are copper bullets. We'll see what happens. Okay, here we go. You ready?
Yep.
The three shots are really hard to see, so we're just going to skip to the end and show you what we got. For my reference, this is the hammer. This is the CX bullet, and that is the Fiocchi with the Barnes bullet. First block of 4 inches. Oh, one of them stopped right there. Didn't go quite as far, which means the other ones, yeah, didn't make it through 8 inches. We'll deconstruct these at the shop. Just wanted to get a video of this real quick. See what we can do at 500 yards. I think we'll start with this aluminum plate first. It's the biggest one, and work our way down to the pine. Go from there. Okay, here we go. First shot on the aluminum.
Heard something.
Hit the left edge. 28.83. I think that's good enough. It's tilted a little bit to the side. Okay, we're going to the polycarbonate now. That guy's a little bit smaller, so hopefully we can get that one. That one's going to be hard to tell. 28.71. $28.77. Okay, here we go. Aluminum plate. Yep. Top left. 29.92.
I think that looks way left to me.
Dang! Dead center on that one. Boom!
That looks like it hits me.
The polycarbonate did what we wanted it to. If you look from the top, you can actually see kind of the path of the bullets. We hit it 4 times. This low one and this high one, I believe, are both the 150 grain. This one right here is the Barnes. I'm sorry, this one right here is the custom hammer. This is the CX bullet over here, and these two are the Barnes out of the Fiocchi. Over here, this is the CX bullet, this is the custom hammer bullet, and this is the Fiocchi. This was the Fiocchi. but we had to reshoot that one over here. And on the aluminum plate, did anything get past 1 inch? It did not. It did not. Right here is the CX bullet. We know we hit that one. This is the hammer, the custom hammer out of the Weatherby, and this is the 150 Fiocchi. And as we look at the back, nothing even close. Back at the shop, and I don't want to spend too much time on the teardown process. It was quite monotonous and not much information there. But I do want to show you that we were able to retrieve each one of these projectiles, and you know, each one had a different property. The wood being the softest, we were able to potentially retain a little bit more weight. We do have all the data coming in here after this. Here you can see the pine boards. However, I do want to say that the polycarbonate had a very interesting result with the hammer custom bullet. So let me show you that, and then we'll continue on with the data. Now this just looks crazy. Pulling it out, the hammer out of the polycarbonate, and it just looks like almost like a fossil. So we were able to retrieve 9 projectiles, and during the testing we mistakenly took one of the Fiocchi TSX Barnes bullets as being the Hornady CX bullet. So we did not get any information or data at 500 yards in polycarbonate with the Hornady CX. However, I went ahead and did a depth and retention for 100 and the 500 yard for each of the Fiocchi, Hornady, and Weatherby. I also got the actual velocity during the testing. As you can see, the number of shots, I ended up taking 11 shots of Fiocchi, 14 of the Hornady, and 10 of the Weatherby. And at the bottom right, I'll give you the environmental conditions. It was quite cold and humid that day, so whether that affected the velocity, I'm sure it did. I am at an elevation of 6,687 feet above sea level, so I know that also helps velocity, so take it for what it is. All that being said, here's the data. Tell me what you think. I noticed that I had the most accuracy with the Weatherby Hammer Custom. However, I didn't like how the front of the bullet would tend to break off on the harder materials, and how the Weatherby did not open up at all when it hit the wood. The CX bullet from Hornady seemed to have the most consistency as far as opening up and retaining weight, but I also had the widest extreme spread as far as velocities while shooting the Hornady. The last, Fiocchi, I had great velocity, but noticed that the BCs being so low, this was just barely moving along at 500 yards, so take that for what it is. This is the data. Guys, thanks for watching till the end. If there's anything else you want to see in the future, let me know. We have more coming up. We have another test coming next week. Like, share, subscribe, and until then.